So this class is for our beautiful spring lotus necklace, and I have the sample here to show. So we have our pendant, a row of beautiful fire polished glass beads and seed beads making up the string. This clasp, I need to tighten this up, but we have a beautiful little button clasp. So this necklace is very beautiful but simple to make. It does not require any wire tools, so it makes it really easy, especially for somebody who might have, trouble using the wire tools and have lower grip strength. So let's go ahead and go over the materials that we'll need for this. So we have what's called Eslon cording. So this is like a thicker nylon cord. It looks like a little rope. Let me zoom in here. It's about a little bit over 1/2 millimeter. So we just want to make sure that our beads can fit through these. So these are the seed beads, usually 1/2 millimeter size. Definitely under 1 millimeter is going to fit. So we just want to make sure our cording is going to fit the bead, and we don't want it to be too thin like thread, right? So this is a good size, about 0.65 millimeters. We have all the supplies here that were pretty much ordered on limabeads.com, so very great company to look for supplies. And they ship out of Michigan, so they arrive pretty soon after ordering. We have our fire polished beads here. We have our size 60 beads here. These are 4 millimeters. These are our 60 gold galvanized beads. And then we also have a few of these smaller little gold beads. Those are size 11-0, or about the same size as these. Okay, and then we have our little button. Okay, and of course our pendant. All right, so we're going to look at the little instruction sheet, and all we need to do is just start looping the main beads here following this pattern. So I started with the red beads kind of at the front, and then I just did a few of the beads, added a gold one, a few of the fire polish beads, added a gold one, and just kind of made a little pattern. So what we want to do is just kind of lay out how we want it to look even before we start. So if I'm looking at this one, just as a general guide, okay, I'm just going to put a few here. I put 4 on each side of the red one, so it's going to be 4 and 4. Couple of the gold ones. So if I set it up, or at least put them kind of by where they're going to go, it just makes it easier to grab them. So for this one, I made a pattern kind of along here, but I think for this one, the sample, I'm just going to put kind of a random grouping of colors, just because all of these colors go really well together anyway. It's kind of nice getting these little pre-made mixes. So I'm going to put a group of 4, a group of 4, and then a little gold one in between. A group of 4, gold one. Okay, another little group of 4. I'm making sure I do get one of each color when I grab the set. So here's another group of 4. Okay, and then I do have a couple extra of these colored purple fire polished beads, just because I like the purple. So maybe I'll do another one, maybe pulling one of these colors out from here and swapping it. Okay, so that's 4 with the gold one in between. So we just have to make sure we have kind of enough sets here. This one has a whole bunch of them and then a gold one, so this doesn't have any spaces. And then I kind of clustered a group of 3 gold beads here and then a gold one at the end. So in this one, I'm just going to put the gold bead in between just to make it a little different. And then maybe I'll just put 2 on the end there to kind of finish it off. Okay, So once I have that set up, then I can get my cording. And it doesn't really matter, where we start because we're going to put these all in the middle. This Eslon brand is great because it's at the very center with the red, because it's firm enough that you can just kind of use it as a needle and scoop up the beads. So you don't have to even use like a beading needle for this. Okay. So just very simple scooping these up. These red ones have a little bit of like metallic on the inside. So when it catches the light, it really looks really beautiful. Okay. So those are my red ones. So those are going to go just in the middle here. Okay. You could, temporarily make a light knot here if you want to, but since they're on this little mat, they're not really going to slide around too much. Okay, I'm just stringing the gold size 60. So just so you guys know, beads, when you're going to purchase them at a store, they can either come in millimeters, so like 4 millimeters for this bead. And then the seed beads are going to come in sizes, using their scale. So it'll be like 60 is this one, which is one of the biggest seed beads you can get. And then it'll progressively go from there. So 80 will be a little smaller, um, that's a common size. 80 is kind of chunkier. And then we have these smaller ones that are 11, which is kind of what you typically think of as a seed bead. And then they have little tiny 15 zeros that are used for like bead weaving. So those are probably too small. So as long as your size of beads, is kind of close to what we're using, then, it's fine. If you want to get some thicker beads instead, or you want to use something you have at home already, you could swap it out. Purple one. Okay, so that's the set. And the last 4. If the little cord does start to fray or like unravel, you could just put a tiny bit of like Elmer's glue to keep it from unwinding all the way, or you could just cut a little bit off and then it'll straighten itself out. Okay, so here are the beads for the side and the middle. So that's one. And then just do the same thing on this side. Not too worried about the pattern. I don't need to match the other side. But of course, the design is optional, is up to you guys. Decide how you want to lay them out. Look at this one. Okay, that's 4 and a gold one. Okay. 4, and a gold one. On the Lima Beads website, they do have other color, mixes of this. So this is the Northwest bead mix. But all these beads can be purchased like, usually they have them individually purchased, so you can kind of make your own sets, or you can see some of the other ones they have. Like they have another one called like Fairy, Woodland Fairy or something set, and that's like lighter colors. So I just thought these were nice, and I added some purple just to add a little bit more. But yeah, this is the set that they designed. So this image comes from the Lima Beads website. So they have lots of project ideas on there. Okay, so it goes fairly quickly. Gold one. And let's see, am I even here? Okay. Oh, oops. So on this one, I made 5. I'm sorry, I made 4, but these are smaller, so it makes it look a little off. So that looks pretty good there. Okay, so I have these 2 here. I do have some extra beads, so I'm gonna just go ahead and use these. I believe in each kit I put about, 40 or 50 beads, so you can make this colored part as long as you want. So I'll just put 2 on one side and another gold one. And just to even it out, 2 on the other side. And a gold. Oops. There we go. All right, so now we have our center part, okay? For the pendant portion, we'll add this later. We have a jump ring and the pendant that goes down there. So all I'm gonna do now is just kind of make sure it's in the center. And I'm gonna start threading the smaller seed beads. Okay, I kind of just like to lay them out on here and just pick them up that way. Or I also like to put them in my hand and then I can kind of like tilt my hand to pick them up. Okay, I just had it. Wow. I know these fit. Used it for the other one. Get in there. Okay, there. All right. So I'm just gonna weave all of these through. The length of this necklace can also be adjusted. So with 22 inches of S-line, that's going to give you about like an 18-inch necklace. So we just want to, just decide how long to make the necklace based on how you intend to wear it. 22 inches, you can shorten it to 18, it'll come down to mid chest, and then 16 inches is probably like the shortest you want to go. But of course, you probably want to just try it on, or at least put it up to your neck and see how long you want it to go. All right, so I'm just doing these one at a time, but we're not really, there's not so many on here, so even this goes pretty quickly. You can use a beading needle if you have one, but it's really not really necessary. Okay, especially since we're going to be adding a little pattern in here. So in here, let's see. We have a section of beads here, so I'm just going to line this up. So let's see, this is about 3, 6, 9, 12. So probably about 15 beads, 15 seed beads here, and then we'll do a little bit of a break and add another color. Okay, so in this one, a couple more. In this section, I just added a little bit of the gold right here with this reddish one, so this reddish bead. There. And then we'll do the smaller 11-0 gold bead. This one. And I'll do one more fire polish one. Okay, starting to get a little frayed. The other little gold bead. These look like a 10-0 instead of 11. So that little section, and then we'll do 15, or, this looks like 15 or 20, and then continue on the other side. Or maybe I'll do this section first. This one doesn't have any gold, it just has a little break. But of course, if you wanted to add more beads in there, you could. Okay, so this side is a little longer. Looks like about 25 beads on this side. So I'm just gonna keep going. Okay, 3 more. This one has a little bit of purple, but I think I'm just gonna I'll do a red one instead. And maybe just one gold. There. And this one has a whole bunch on that side, but I think I'm gonna throw in an extra gold one there too. So the lotus, I love using it for spring because it does represent renewal and resilience and fertility, especially in a lot of Eastern cultures. But if you wanted to use a different kind of pendant, if you look on the Lima Beads website, they have a couple other options that you can, choose if you want to try something else. Or even if you wanted to make it like a gold pendant, these are a couple other options that I brought for the class. So just the little swirl. Um, this one has a little tree of life on here as a little coin. So, and then they also have other varieties of lotus flower pendants, but I thought this one was the nicest and also the largest. So it's, that's why I probably chose it, the design. Okay, so I have my section here. I'm just gonna finish this off. A couple more colors. Oops. Popped off there. That's a good spot to put another gold little bead. Okay. So at this point, we can see before we finish it off, we kind of want to see, make sure these are all evened out here and lay these next to each other so we can see where the design is going to go. So this portion is matching like this side, right? And then this one's going to be matching the other side. So it looks like here goes like that. Sorry, I flipped it. So that one is this. So I need to add white, a little bit of gold, just like I did on this side, and then continue. My string is getting a little frayed, so what I'm going to do before it starts unraveling even more, just going to trim off a tiny bit. And then this one, maybe three more. It's a little gold one. Just have this big one, so put that one instead. Which doesn't want to go in there, so get extras. One up here on this side. Okay, about 5 more maybe. So it's looking about done. And then we're just gonna add the little button. Okay. I'm just gonna knot this. So I want to make sure I have enough cording on this side to, finish the project. So I'm just gonna scooch it down. Come on, scooch these beads down a little bit, just so I don't waste so much of this up here. So I'm gonna just tie this down, make a little knot, just to hold my seed beads in place there. Okay. And then you can see that it's not gonna really go anywhere after that. And then for this button, we just tie it on here just with a regular knot. Okay, so there's the knot that I just made. Put it right there at the same spot. Okay, nice and tight. Okay, if you really want to secure it, you can put a little drop of crazy glue on there. But this cord is really durable. Nylon cord especially is going to really hold. That's why it's usually preferred. So I just scooched all the beads down there, made sure that those are in the right spot. Okay. And then I think I just have a little bit of this side left to go. So it looks like I need about 10 more beads on this side. Just gonna finish these up real quick. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys, a very easy necklace to make, especially an easy clasp, because, you don't have to buy the hardware for it. And this kind of button is really easy to just make a loop for the end and just put it on with a loop and it stays in place. I mean, it's very simple clasp, but it works. And you get the little added decoration of the button. Right there. So then here, all we're gonna do is just make sure everything is kind of lined up the way we want to. And I'm going to make a regular knot first just to hold the beads in place. I can tie a regular knot. Come on. It's not cooperating with me. Okay. For the loop, you just want to make sure the loop is going to be big enough for the button. So I'm going to just drape it across the diameter of the button, or approximately that size. Okay. And so we just want to make sure it's big enough. Another way you can do it is maybe just put your finger through and go from there, because you can always make it a little smaller as you're finishing it off. So I'm making the little knot. Before I tighten it all the way, I'm going to just make sure it's how I want. So just kind of double checking it here. See, this is way too big. So if you make it too big, it's going to get a little bit too loose. So I'm going to bring this knot in a little bit more. Okay, so let's see if that's good. Yeah, that's about right. So once I have my knot in place, check, make sure it fits. And then I would recommend just going through here and just tying it really well on here, just because we don't want this to slide out, especially because on the other necklace I just had right here, it was doing that. So I'm gonna just really secure it. And then we can just trim the edges off. Okay, hold it up to your neck, make sure it's the right length that you want. And of course, you can just put this toggle through. And then right here to attach the pendant, all we need is a little ring. Which I should have put in here. Okay. Making the jump ring here. Okay. So then this ring, we just want to put it through the middle of these. Make sure you open it up. Just enough so the string can fit through there. And then you attach this pendant onto the jump ring. Oops. Okay, let me open it up a little more. Okay, so that's that. And then let's say I add this pendant here. Oops. Come on, you're making me look bad here. Let's put the pendant on first then. Then this one. And then we can just bring it back. So that finishes off this one. And then we have a little button on top, and then these little strings, we just can trim them off. Okay. I did make a little set of earrings to go with this, just as an idea. So if you wanted to make this very simple, I could just show you really quick. I'll make one of them. Of course, you'll need some other materials, so you'll need a little bit of wire. I believe that's gauge 22. So you'll need a little bit of thin wire, something that's kind of soft and flexible. The ear wires. And then for this, all we do is make, using a loop tool, make a little loop. Okay. And then we're going to put the white beads through first so that we get a row on this side. So let's see, this is about 10 or 11 beads. So I'm just going to thread these through the wire. And then picking out some of the colors of the fire polish beads or the red ones or gold ones that you used. You just want to put some of those in the middle. These little seed beads are clogged. Alright, so that's 6 in there. So as I'm making this, I just want to curve the wire a little bit as I go. So I put some of those in there. I'm going to put a red one, maybe this little small gold one, a couple of these fire polish beads just to have it match. And I'll steal one more from this set. Okay, so that's, oh, that's the same color. Get a different one. Different color. Here's purple. Okay, and then as I'm going, I'm just kind of curving it. I just want to curve it as I go just so I can kind of see how much is left in there. So the other side. Six in there. Okay. So I just want to make sure I'm matching here. So that's 4, 8, 9, 10 on that side. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay. So I'm matching, and then here what I want to do is finish it off so it looks like the shape that I want. So in this case, I just kind of made it look like a little bit of a teardrop, kind of like a really round teardrop. Okay. And then on here, what I want is, I want this part to be flat. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to twist it just a little. So it's like flattened on the top right here. So I can zoom in. Okay. So this part is flattened. Let's see if this will focus. There we go. That part is flattened, okay? We want the beads to go all the way to the end of that. So I need to scooch this one down. Okay, so that the white begins right there. And then on this side, I'm just gonna bring it across, bring it over, and loop it in there. So it looks like I closed it off a little too much. So I'm gonna open it, and I'm just gonna make sure that that hooks onto the other side, okay? And once that hooks, it kind of helps to keep it in place, keep everything in place. Okay. And I'm going to slide it as far as it'll go so that everything on the beads are like, there's no gaps. Okay, like it's all as far in as it can go. Okay, once I have that in the right spot, then I'm gonna bend the wire up. So that kind of closes off that section. And then I'm also gonna pinch this closed, really making sure that that section keeps in place right there. Okay, this is about 3 inches or 4 inches of wire. Okay, and then once you have this straight part, we're gonna cut about 1 centimeter to make the little loop just for the earring hook. Centimeter. And then I'm gonna bend it so it's going down. And then using the tip, maybe not the very tip, but close to the tip, I'm gonna roll the loop. And that's gonna attach onto the earring hook. Where's my earring hook? Okay. Ear wire, you just want to open either side, really, doesn't matter. This one I opened it this way. Put it in there. Close it so it doesn't come loose. You get a cute little drop earring. Okay. Then you do the same thing for the other side, and you get your set. Okay. So that's it. All right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this and enjoy wearing your beautiful Lotus necklace with earrings. Okay, thank you guys so much.